Hello, 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 Mosaic Souls. Hey, Mosaic Souls, this is Rachael Alexander, artist and Mosaic Soul mentor, aka spiritual and life and health coach. And so today, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I wanted to come on here and talk about how to feel happier and more balanced with one simple change. And we're going to be diving into the topic all about, if you are struggling with feeling the highs and lows of, mood swings, if you're battling with depression, if you're struggling with, memory issues or being able to focus during the day and all that stuff. We're going to talk about that and this one simple change that can really radically, it's simple, but it's not always easy. That's usually how it is, just because of our conditioning. So what is that one simple change to get you to feeling happier, feeling more focused, feeling more in tune with yourself? And the one thing that I'm going to focus in on today is, hello, Lanielle. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. So I'm going to leave some Q&A. Okay, somebody just called me. Someone just called me. Is this recording? Okay, cool. Someone just called me. Okay. Well, I can't turn my phone on airplane mode because then I won't be able to go live. But anyways, so we're going to be talking about how to feel happier and more balanced with this one simple change. So today it's really about, it's more than one thing, but I always like to leave a doorway and then kind of bring into the other things. And the doorway that I'm going to choose today is all about sugar, right? And the reason why sugar and fat, really, sugar and saturated fat. And the reason why changing this one thing about your diet and lifestyle is going to dramatically improve your energy, your mood swings, if you're battling with depression, if you're battling with focus issues and stuff like that, is because our bodies aren't meant to handle the processed sugars. There's so much scientific studies and all that good stuff like that. Check out Dr. Greger's channel on insulin resistance and all that stuff. But let's say that you're struggling with depression and stuff like that. There has actually been scientific studies that show that when you increase processed sugars, things like high fructose corn syrup, other names for it that kind of come in package labels and processed foods like dextrose, maltodextrin, maltose, sucrose, dextrin, cane sugar, high fructose corn syrup, I'm reading off my list, brine rice syrup. There's so many different names for it, but all these processed foods that are loaded with these things, not only high saturated fat, but also these sugar, creates insulin resistance. And so the reason why eliminating these things from your diet can help improve your memory, improve your mood and all that good stuff is because it helps eliminate that blood sugar spikes that happen when you start to load your body with all these sort of toxic elements, right? So our body is actually, we do need simple sugars to run off of, but it's the kind of man-made sugars and stuff like that that is added into foods and put into foods that actually create all this insulin resistance and all these things, from heart disease to diabetes to depression to ovarian cystic syndrome to endometriosis, to all these things that even with menopause, having menopausal symptoms, these things all lead back to the sugar and PCOS. Yes, exactly, Alicia. So it can all lead back to this one thing, and it's really the high processed foods, the fats, and all that good stuff. And so when we start to simplify and start to eliminate these things from our diet, you'll start to feel better. So you'll start to feel more balanced. You'll start to have better moods. You won't be going on these high lows and the sugar roller coaster, right? And so the thing is, when you have these high processed foods, high processed sugars and fats in your food, it literally spikes the blood. And it's also, for my meat eaters, right? I'm not against any one particular diet. I just go with science, right? And I go with what my intuition has taught me. And my soul brought me to a predominantly plant-based diet over 10 years ago. And so I eat mostly plants, whole fruits and vegetables, apples, you know what I mean? I had my almonds earlier today. So it's all about learning to eat simply, like simplify your diet. So instead of having, you know, the apple crisp and stuff, get an actual fruit, get the actual apple, right? Instead of, you know, these things that like pile in all that processed junk really inhibits our ability to feel better. Like, so on a physiological stuff. So I'm talking more about like the physical stuff today, rather than the emotional, especially like, you know, when we do hold on to fear and anger and all that stuff, that definitely actually adds to the insulin resistance, which can lead to type 2 diabetes. But focusing in on like the actual one thing that you can do today is to decrease your high processed and sugar intake, right? So instead of doing the processed breads and the you know, the processed meats and the processed, anything that's processed and that took like a whole bunch of time in order to make this product, and that didn't really come from the ground, from the earth, right? Like that stuff is going to spike your blood sugar. It's going to cause insulin resistance. It's going to increase your susceptibility to depression. It's going to cause memory loss. It's going to cause mood swings and all that good stuff. And this has all been scientifically proven. So definitely, you know, just be mindful of that. So the one simple thing that you can start doing today, especially it being 2020, is to simplify your diet simplify your life by simplifying your diet. So instead of, and it can be a little bit of a journey too in the beginning, because you're with the processed sugars, with the high fructose corn syrups and all that kind of stuff that's sneakily in every little thing that you can think of, like literally from your peanut butter to your ketchup to your jelly to, you know, anything that you utilize, you know, all the condiments and the Wonder Breads and the Sara Lee's and all these types of stuff that we think are healthy but isn't actually healthy. The more that we get back to the whole food, the whole plant-based food as much as possible, the better you're going to feel. So that's why it's all about this one simple thing is improving your diet. You know, you're going to feel better. This is just science, people. Like I talk a lot about spirituality on this channel, but I wanted to bring a little bit of science today, because a lot of times we don't understand that food really directly affects our mood, you know? And every time you eat something, I want you to do an experiment on yourself for the remainder of this week. I want every time you eat a piece of food, I want you to notice within the next 30 minutes to an hour after you've eaten that food, how it makes you feel. And our body reacts immediately after food, like within an hour to 3 hours after we've eaten something, you will know whether or not that food jives with your body. You'll feel low, or you'll feel like a little like, just try it out. Just become your own scientist and start experimenting with your food. And if the food makes you feel sleepy, groggy, anxious, or, you know, angry or anything like that, usually it's not going to be, your body doesn't know what to do with it, and it's having to go through this whole like detoxification process because you've introduced a whole bunch of like toxic substances through the food. So usually when we eat more whole plant-based foods, like, you know, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, so true. Live foods create love, healthy cells. Exactly. I totally agree with you, Alicia. That's so true. So living foods, the more you can eat living foods, and I don't recommend that. Not everybody needs to become raw vegan, right? Like I'm not a raw vegan, but like the more whole fruits and vegetables that you include in your diet, the better you are going to feel. That's just because it's science. It's our species. Our species is literally a herbivore / frugivore. And the more that we adhere to the diet of our species, the better we're going to feel. So it's going to improve, you know, it's going to eliminate depression. I can tell you this from personal experience. Like I used to do this experiment on myself like 4 years ago, where I would eat high processed foods, you know, just going to a buffet or going to a so-called, you know, healthy restaurant and getting these high processed foods, or even the way that they would cook so-called healthy foods can become unhealthy. And I would do experiments on myself, and I struggled with like symptoms of bipolar disorder. And I would notice like just giving myself like a 3-week period of trial and error. The more processed junk foods I ate, the more depressed I felt, the more highs I felt, the more lows. It was like that sugar roller coaster that I mentioned in the beginning. I would feel these highs immediately followed by low, you know? And I remember experiencing that. And then so I started experimenting. I was like, okay, let me do more fruits and veggies. Let me get rid of all the processed stuff, all the processed cereals and all that stuff. Let me just start my day off with a smoothie. That's why a lot of times you'll see me with my big cup of smoothie. I always have a smoothie every single day. It's been a habit for literally years. So like I started doing the smoothie in the morning, and then I would do more like fruits and vegetables as my snack. When I tell you my mood improved, like I stopped being that bee that I was known as. I was always kind of like, I would have these highs followed by that immediate low. And I'd be like, why do I feel so crazy? Like, why does that, I feel so energetic sometimes and then I feel so low and just depressed. And it was because of food that I was eating. So if you're struggling with depression, change your diet and start to see and notice if you see a difference. All of that stuff, every time you put something in your mouth is affecting your mood. It's affecting your energy. It's affecting your brain. You know, everything is connected. I want us to, like, as a community, start to understand that connection, because you can't put certain things in your body and expect your body to run correctly. It's like putting a gallon of sugar in your gas tank. I'm sitting in my car, and then expecting your car to run smoothly. Your car will shut down because it's like, what is this? This is not the fuel that I need in order to survive, in order to thrive, right? So you want to think about that, right? So this is that one simple thing that you can start to do starting today, is to improve your diet. So just today, like for the remainder of the day, I'm in Eastern Standard Time. I'm not sure what time zone you're in, but choose a day today for one meal to be predominantly plant-based. That means fruits, vegetables, whole grains, whole nuts and seeds, right? So you can do some rice, some quinoa, top with some veggies, you know, you can do some sweet potato, you can do, the plant kingdom is so vast. We have so many different, you know, things that are our disposal, you know. So instead of shopping in the aisles with all the processed labeled packaged foods, try to shop in the produce section. And the more fruits and vegetables and the more things that you can get from the produce section, you will literally start to feel better. So like, simplify your life by simplifying your diet, and that's how you're going to start to feel happier, healthier, and more balanced and in tune with your life. So I hope these tips have been helpful. It really just is that one simple thing of eliminating the processed junk, eliminating the processed foods, the processed sugars, the processed fats. This is all scientifically based. We have science to back up this evidence. I'm not talking out of my you know what. And I just really want us to, like, you know, as a family, as you're watching this, I want you to thrive. I want you to feel your best in your life. I want you to wake up and feel juiced about your life and to feel excited about your day. And it starts not only with your internal world. That's why I would say create your life from the inside out. It's about knowing that every time you put something in your mouth, it's actually affecting your mental health, right? It really is. And also on a spiritual level, psychological level, taking care of your emotions and making sure you're processing your emotions and stuff like that. You can check out my video about the 5 ways to improve or increase your self-care. That's one of my Wellness Wednesday videos as well. So if you are wanting more help with this, thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, go ahead and pop them below. I'll stay on here a couple more minutes. But if you want more help with this, I actually have my sugar detox program that is launching next week on the 21st. So check me out at divineearthschool.com/sugar detox, sugar-detox. I'll put a link below or something like that. So you can, I'm trying to see. I don't know how to put that in here while I'm live. Thank you for your contribution. You are so welcome, Alicia. Thank you for joining me. But yeah, so if you want more help with that, I'm doing a 6-week sugar detox program where we're going to be focusing on getting rid of all the processed junk, all the processed foods, and we're going to be focusing on learning all about, you know, how to get these good foods in our body, why it's important to do that, what foods cause what, and all that good stuff. You actually learn this stuff so you can pass this on to your generation, to your children's children, so they know, so they can create thriving lives, and you can increase your lifespan on the planet, right? And enjoy your life as much as possible as you're this soul having this human experience, right? So if you're interested in that, check me out at divineearthschool.com/sugar detox. As I always say, flow with what feels good, let go of what doesn't, because you are divine. You are a divine being, and your soul knows exactly what you have come to experience and explore on this playground called Earth. So have an awesome rest of your week, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace, love, and light.